IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez.
Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull.
Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis expressed his amazement at Terence Crawford's intense preparation ahead of the potential clash with Canelo Álvarez. Lewis pointed out Crawford's razor-sharp focus, discipline, and high-level boxing intelligence. According to him, whenever Crawford is mentally locked in, he finds the formula to succeed. Lewis added that the level of commitment shown in camp makes it clear Crawford is gearing up seriously for the challenge.
Stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight, because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting.
Terence Crawford's head coach, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, has stressed that the spotlight isn't weighing down his fighter ahead of the showdown with Canelo Álvarez. McIntyre explained that Crawford isn't feeling any pressure, instead treating this matchup as just another test in his already decorated career. He highlighted that Crawford understands exactly what's required once the bell rings, with training being precise, purposeful, and centered on execution. For Crawford, it's less about the hype surrounding the event and more about reaffirming his status as the sport's top pound-for-pound talent. According to McIntyre, Crawford is mentally composed, physically prepared, and strategically dialed in to deliver a statement performance.
And have a fight rather than maybe boxing.
No, I don't think there's no pressure on Terence, because Terence gonna fight the way that he's used to fighting. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. You know, we train for one way, the way we're going to fight, and that's the way we're going to get the job done.
When people talk about this fight and they talk about the outcome of the fight, the sort of narrative online is that, look, Terence was moving up in weight, but we all know Terence can crack. When that fight was made with Errol Spence, it was seen as a 50-50 fight, and in reality what it was one of the most destructive performances I've ever seen. Should fans be surprised if Terence could manage to stop Canelo?
I think that fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. The more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse it's off for the opponent.
The last one from me, because I know this time is now at that minute as you were talking, so I just have one more question. If he manages to get through Canelo Álvarez, does that cement his place on the Mount Rushmore of boxing?
You just answered the question.
Rhetorical.
Veteran boxing analyst Larry Merchant compared the upcoming Terence Crawford vs Canelo Álvarez clash to one of the sport's most iconic matchups. He referenced Sugar Ray Leonard's upset win over Marvin Hagler, a fight where many believed Leonard had little chance of succeeding. Merchant suggested that Crawford finds himself in a similar position, being the smaller yet quicker and more technical fighter taking on a naturally bigger and stronger opponent. He explained that just as Leonard relied on speed, movement, and ring IQ to outmaneuver Hagler, Crawford could employ those same qualities against Canelo. According to Merchant, the keys to victory will be sharp footwork, precise timing, and dictating the pace. In his view, boxing history has already shown the path, and Crawford possesses the skill set to replicate it.
I asked the great Larry Merchant, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Álvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Yeah. Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out. That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler.
Highly regarded trainer Buzzy Ennis shared a strong opinion about the Canelo vs Crawford matchup. He pointed out that Canelo Álvarez has occasionally shown signs of frustration when dealing with opponents who rely on movement and slick boxing skills. Ennis cautioned that Terence Crawford fits that mold perfectly, a fighter capable of creating tricky angles, landing sharp counters, and forcing his opponent out of rhythm. Unlike others who couldn't capitalize on Canelo's tendencies, Crawford has the craft and composure to do so. Ennis stressed that this fight won't come down to raw power, but to which man can control the tempo. If Crawford manages to disrupt Canelo's rhythm and patience, Ennis believes it could pave the way for a career-defining triumph.
See, and all that. If he can't touch you, you know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean?
Now, did watching that make you feel like Terence Crawford is better than a 50% chance? After watching, I know we've seen him against Lara back in the day, but now this is supposed to be a new and improved Canelo.
Yeah. I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the streets, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
So what's the right way? Because Skull was moving too much. Is as soon as he as soon as you turn him, then is that when you start firing off?
Well, see, the thing is, the right way, the way I would have my fighter doing is I'm boxing him, you know what I mean? And he coming at me, I'm hitting him, pop, 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 pop. And soon he gets set, I'll tie him up. Walking to the center. You know what I mean? We cruise to the ropes and do the same thing good. Keep on frustrating, hit with the jab, boom, boom. Keep on moving, but also hitting him though. You know what I mean? And he gets frustrated, then he let his guards down. And it's a good night.
Bernie the Boxer, a close voice from Terence Crawford's camp, sent a clear message to Canelo Álvarez ahead of their clash. He argued that Canelo's style, powerful, steady, but at times predictable, plays right into Crawford's strengths. Bernie emphasized that Crawford's sharp instincts, adaptability, and fearless mindset give him the perfect tools to capitalize. He praised Crawford not just for his technical brilliance but also for his discipline and mental toughness, insisting that Crawford isn't stepping into this mega fight just to show up, he's coming in to take control. According to Bernie, Crawford already knows the formula for victory and is prepared to endure whatever it takes to get his hand raised.
Well, a lot of people are saying about Crawford's age, but, you know, no boxing, no life, as Canelo would say. And Crawford still, you know, in age, but he ain't took no punishment. He's cautious, you know, he works hard throughout these years. So, you know, of course you're gonna, you know, you gotta count that in the factor. But in his heart and his mind and his spirit, he's still youthful about boxing. He loves boxing, and this is one way to get him up. You know, he's a challenge guy. He loves a challenge, and Canelo is the biggest challenge you can get. You know, we got to go up 2 weight classes, really 3 weight classes to get a guy like that. Hardest puncher, great counter puncher, tons of experience, undisputed champion, unified champion, a couple of divisions champion, and so we didn't get the Pacquiao or the Mayweather, but we getting Canelo, and nothing comes easy to Team Crawford, and expect us to look good on the 12th. Expect us to come out victorious September 12th.
Well, we obviously just saw his fight against Skull, and people didn't obviously enjoy it, the back foot boxing from Skull and whatever, but what fight can fans expect from Bud? Because a lot of people think that it'll be similar to that or the Charlo fight or whatever like that.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He's a fight. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We going to do everything we can to him. We going to do whatever we got to do, but one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him, because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something, and he better know Crawford is coming.
In preparing for Canelo Álvarez, Terence Crawford has sought out sparring partners capable of mimicking the Mexican champion's style. Among them is Lester Martinez, a seasoned professional with solid skills and physical strength. Martinez has been pushing Crawford in the gym, applying pressure and bringing the kind of ring presence Crawford is expected to face against Canelo. Reports indicate that Crawford has looked impressive in these sessions, absorbing Martinez's power while responding with his trademark counterpunching and pinpoint accuracy. Working with opponents like Martinez is helping Crawford adjust to the size, strength, and rhythm of a super middleweight, ensuring he'll step into the ring fully prepared for the challenge.
Preparation from sparring, like Terence being with Lester Martinez, he's about as good a concoction you could hope for as a sparring partner. I need a guy who can come forward with good timing, who's sharp, who got good power in both hands. Lester Martinez for Terence Crawford. If you're Canelo, I need a guy that can switch. I need a guy with length. I need a guy with power, with skill. he gets Darrell Valsaint, who's 6'1", 154. He switch hits, southpaw, mostly southpaw like Terence, but can switch. Good long. His arms are almost the exact same length as Terence Crawford. And he's a young 23-year-old good athlete. And then I don't know if Canelo's sparring with Marco Verde, who won the silver medal for Mexico, but Marco Verde would, again, 5'11", long arms, southpaw, can switch. I would think between Darrell Valsaint and Marco Verde, Canelo's getting awesome preparation. And then Terence with Lester Martinez. This is speculative, but someone did mention it to me on Twitter when I was talking about Canelo preparing with Valsaint. They go, well, Lester Martinez had to go home with migraines and pull out of a fight, and he was sparring with Terence Crawford. So, I mean, it's speculative, but you're like, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, if he was getting migraines for sparring Terence Crawford and had to pull out of a fight because of it, then that must mean Terence Crawford is doing well in the gym.
Boxing experts are buzzing about the unique stylistic matchup between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford. Canelo is renowned for his calculated, heavy-handed approach, constantly applying pressure, conserving energy, and then exploding with punishing combinations, especially to the body and through uppercuts. On the other hand, Crawford thrives on rhythm and unpredictability. He shifts stances with ease, creates angles through slick footwork, and lands precise counters from unexpected positions. Analysts believe this isn't simply a battle of power against speed, it's discipline versus improvisation, strength versus adaptability. With such contrasting styles, many see this fight shaping up as one of the most fascinating tactical battles of the modern boxing era.
Be predictable. I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable, and despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him, maybe he can counter-punch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Álvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly, but Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Álvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh Seas.
For Terence Crawford, winning isn't just a goal, it's second nature. His career has been built on resilience and the ability to deliver when the pressure is highest. In preparation for Canelo Álvarez, Crawford has pushed himself harder than ever, fine-tuning his conditioning to maintain peak performance across 12 grueling rounds. On the other side, Canelo has been equally committed, reportedly sparring with younger, faster fighters to replicate Crawford's speed, agility, and unpredictability. Both camps recognize the magnitude of this showdown, and neither is leaving anything to chance.
They had this little fracas. It looked kind of WWE to me, but we know Crawford is coming to try to win. That's his DNA, that's his nature, and I think that's what he will attempt to do. So it will be up to Canelo to show him moving up to this weight class was a mistake. Weight classes exist for a reason. So I really like what I'm seeing, Canelo getting young sparring partners in there. He probably is giving them advice and using them for their energy. It's like 50 Cent said in Hustler's Ambition when he said, I need you to hate so I can use you for your energy, right? He's using these younger fighters because Canelo was once the young, hungry fighter, right? And now he's using these younger fighters and sparring with them and working with them as he prepares for this. Now, I think there is something on the line for both fighters. Canelo, baby, you'll want the payday, I know that. And also Terence Crawford. But this, especially for Canelo Álvarez, he's not going to want to lose this fight because it's a smaller person. I think it'll be more embarrassing.
Former world champion Zab Judah had high praise for Terence Crawford, emphasizing his sharpness, speed, and the rare ability to blend power with accuracy. Judah expressed confidence that Crawford's precise timing and explosive combinations could even be enough to drop Canelo Álvarez. He described Crawford as one of the few fighters with both the natural talent and ring IQ to give Canelo serious problems. In Judah's view, this matchup isn't only about edging out rounds on the scorecards, it carries the potential for Crawford to make a statement with a knockout victory.
Let's talk about the fight. What you guys think about the fight? Let's get real.
Crawford in one. No, I'm just playing. Nah, I think Crawford.
You see how you don't? You don't believe in Crawford. You don't believe in Crawford in one.
No. Crawford in one. No, hell no. Crawford in one. No.
Okay.
Crawford by this. I got Crawford by decision.
I got Crawford by decision too. And I got Crawford by I got Crawford by a beatdown. If he do what I think he's gonna do, be smooth early and then step it up 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. By the 9th, 10th round, we might see Canelo go sit down. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If he step it up the way he's supposed to, that I think I know he can do. Watch what I say, y'all. Watch what I say.
Sit down.
Sit down.
By stumblage, like by balance or something like that, by hurt.
Punches putting people down. I have watched what I'm telling you. That boy is strong. He's sharp. Speed.
Renowned trainer Derek James shared a word of caution for Canelo Álvarez ahead of the showdown. He explained that Terence Crawford is a different challenge compared to anyone Canelo has faced before. While Álvarez has gone up against powerful punchers and skilled boxers, Crawford combines fluid movement with explosive offense in a way that sets him apart. James highlighted that Crawford is notoriously hard to time and often rises to the occasion in high-pressure moments. His advice to Canelo was clear: he must bring his absolute best on fight night, because underestimating Crawford could prove to be a costly mistake.
I think it's a good fight. I think that it's a great challenge because I think both guys have great attributes, right? That, they do, and I think they have great attributes, and I think that, so we're looking to possibly see a great matchup, a great fight. And one that could be an intellectual fight from Crawford, smart, intelligent fight. And I think, Canelo probably has to be the matador in this one.
He has to be the what?
Matador, yeah.
Matador, yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, let me see. The bull.
The bull.
You gotta be able to be the bull.
Canelo has to be the bull in this one.
You gotta be it because I think you find somebody faster, more athletic. You gotta put whatever it is that he's doing, he has to be better at that than he is at any other night in his life.
But the big talk here, and the thing that I always go back to, is just the weight class. Crawford's going up 3 weight classes. The last time he fought, went up on weight, fought Madrimov. You say you don't watch boxing, but he got, a lot of people.
Madrimov.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that fight.
Yeah, 154.
Yeah, I saw that fight.
Rising contender Jaron "Boots" Ennis shared his perspective on the Canelo vs. Crawford clash, calling it a genuine 50-50th fight. Ennis acknowledged Canelo's size, experience, and proven success at higher weight divisions, but also pointed out Crawford's elite skill set, adaptability, and mental toughness. He explained that both fighters have the ability to neutralize each other's strengths, making this one of the most unpredictable matchups in recent memory. Ennis predicted that every round will be critical, and fans should prepare for a razor-close battle where either man could walk away with the victory.
50-50 fight, and I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see, so, it's a good fight.
How difficult is it to make that jump from, he only had one fight at 54, so 147, 154, it's 168 pounds.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little difficult because you gotta, what are you gonna have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds? So he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like, it's just, you gotta add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that, moving up in weight and things like that. So it's a little harder, but I don't know. We'll see on fight night how he'll look.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart. Take his time, box and move. Don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about Canelo Álvarez?
I feel like Canelo gonna press him, had to press him, everything behind the stick, and catch him, trying to pull back, anything, cutting the ring off, things like that.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the smaller man's arms?
You're gonna have to bully him. You're gonna have to bully the smaller guy.
Former middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs, who once shared the ring with Canelo Álvarez, offered a thoughtful perspective on the upcoming fight. Jacobs acknowledged Canelo's elite skill and experience, but noted that Terence Crawford has displayed the sharpness and determination in training to compete at this level. He suggested that Crawford may need to apply pressure in key moments to test Canelo's stamina and overall work rate. While Jacobs admitted the challenge is enormous, he firmly believes Crawford has a legitimate chance. Having observed Crawford's training intensity firsthand, Jacobs expressed confidence that the Omaha native could rise to the occasion and potentially shock the boxing world.
Canelo Álvarez, and since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined.
Yeah.
Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot, whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points, you know?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more fight updates, breakdowns, and expert insights. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the latest boxing content. Until next time, keep your guard up and your passion for the sport alive.